Hey, you guys, we're here with another episode on Wendy and Tech. And so, I remember I told you guys before how I went to London. I spoke at the UK Black Business Showcase, and I fell in love with London, and I wanted to live there. Well, I'm at Black as Tech Week in Houston, and I run into someone that is from London that is amazing, full force. And I was like, please come on the podcast. I have to have you before you fly out of here. And he made time for me. So, kudos to him for that. But we have Bola here today. I'm so happy to talk with him and hear more information from him. He's very intelligent man, and he is really doing a lot in the tech industry. And he had the time for me today, so let's make some time for him. So please, the floor is yours. Please tell me about yourself, and also please just tell people who you are.
Thank you very much for having me. And I am very, very happy to be here in Houston for my very first time. Actually, Texas for my very first time. So I've been made to feel very, very, very welcome and at home. My name is Bola Ranson. Flew all the way in from UK, as you rightly said, Londoning, to be precise. I'm a very, very big advocate of tech and real estate. Came in for the conference, having a great time, and happy to be on here.
I'm super happy. Okay, you guys. So, how did you enjoy Black as Tech Week?
It's been cool. It's been great. I came in on Tuesday, went straight to the event, went to the hotel, freshened up, changed, came straight to the event, connected with the owners. I met some fantastic tech people.
That is awesome. So, what does your background story look like? Before even like get into the space, being like a public speaker and really a heavy full force in tech and entrepreneurship and real estate.
Yeah, sure. My background goes back about 20 years. So I actually got into the real estate sector about 20 years ago. I was running a marketing business. Wanted to diversify into putting money somewhere a bit safer. It was a very volatile business at the time. Invested in my very first real estate. We call it property. You guys call it real estate. So I get caught with the two words. Invested in my very first piece of real estate all the way back then. Never really looked back. Scaled very quickly. Started to grow my portfolio of assets. And I very, very, very soon, built up a large portfolio worth about £25 million. And since then, I rolled out and launched a property education program. We're setting up a property fund. We also buy in bulk, so we act like a wholesale buyer and we flip units to investors. And we're also setting up a tokenization platform that's going to allow people that cannot participate or feel like they can't participate in real estate investment right now because of the high barrier of entry, i.e. the price. That would allow people to be able to participate much more affordably, typically about $1,000. And typically they'll buy tokens, they'll hold the tokens, and they'll receive an income, a rental income. So it's very similar to owning a property or a piece of real estate, except you're owning a fraction of that piece of real estate. The other thing that we're doing as well is we've recently launched a kind of mini AI tool, which is really cool. So if people were to come to our education portal, they'll be able to interact with our little AI agent called Aura. Aura will be able to ask them questions about where they are on their property journey, and then direct them to the best way forward, which is usually, with me supporting them in some way. So it's like a coaching program, but very clever use of AI where the AI agent Aura really assesses them and their questions in the same way I would. Trained with my knowledge, my 20 years knowledge.
You're so amazing. Oh my gosh. And I can't wait till my mom sees this because she is obsessed with the United Kingdom. She loves the UK. She does a lot of mission work out there. And I feel like what you're doing in the UK is so impactful for us here because we don't get enough knowledge on that, right? I feel like we have people talk about it, but you're doing it on a higher magnitude that needs to be spread across everywhere. And you said 25 million pounds. So how much is that in US dollars?
How much, sir?
How much is that like in US dollars?
£1 million, did you say?
You said 25 million pounds?
25 million pounds, yeah. So there's an exchange rate of about 1.3, it's probably about $30 million.
That is amazing. Yeah. Imagine making that type of money and, doing what you're doing. I really think it's so great. And then you had the chance to speak at Black as Tech Week. So during your presentation, could you tell me a little bit about what your presentation was over?
Yeah. I mean, as I say, the presentation was all about how we're using emerging tech to shape generational wealth. So specifically, I spoke about how, we're using tools like Aura, our AI agent, to power other people's wealth creation. Because suddenly, because what I didn't have when I was coming through and when I was learning about, real estate investing, I didn't really have a mentor. I didn't really have a guide. My parents came over to the UK from Nigeria. They didn't have a huge amount of money. It was all about survival back then. So they came over. They was, working 2 jobs, 3 jobs sometimes, just to make ends meet and put food on the table for me and my siblings, and just create an opportunity for us, just to be able to, have food and and live a reasonably comfortable life. So pushing on from there, that's given me a certain fundamental baseline values about life and priorities, and things like that. But now, fortunately, I'm now able to, help others to succeed and to create. So things like being able to come to the tech week and just engage with the audience and offer them value. And as I say, talk about things like Aura, our AI agent, or our property tokenization platform, which is going to allow people to buy tokens and hold, investments essentially in smaller chunks and not have to raise, huge, $500,000. So that's something I'm very excited about launching.
I'm so excited to hear more about this. You should just go ahead and sponsor me from, citizenship in the UK.
Yeah.
And I'll take that instead. Okay, so this is perfect to hear about. And then working in tech, did you have like a certain role in tech that you're, engraved into?
No. So my background really, I suppose, is I'm really looking at using tech to drive an outcome. So I'm not a tech expert or someone with tech background. My introduction to tech really was through me thinking, how can I use modern technology to solve problems of today? So I'm always thinking in terms of, what problem can I solve? All right. And what is the most efficient way of me solving it? And that's what's led me to rolling out things like Aura, the AI agent, which is our property mastery AI agent, and our tokenization platform.
Thank you for saying that, because when I created this whole platform, Wendy in Tech, it was really to talk about my journey, other people's journey into tech, and like how tech is a part of everything that we do. I'm so happy that you said that you did not have like a tech background, right? You found ways to engrave tech into what you're doing, into your strategy, your plan, operation to execute, and now you're going to be making millions of pounds in the UK about your strategy and investment for portfolios and real estate. And I feel like it's so important for people to know that. I think we're right now in a generation where people are just so focused on like, oh, I have to work a job in cybersecurity because cybersecurity is automatically 6 figures. You don't have to do that sometimes, right? Absolutely. Literally, you're doing something, making well above your means, and it's not even in tech, but it's tech adjacent for what you've added to your portfolio.
Yeah.
So thank you for saying that. You really are a pillar for other people, and I really hope someone out there watches this to understand there's multiple ways and streams of income you can make in this world. It doesn't have to be already related to you working in tech, but tech adjacent. Don't you agree?
100%, 100%. And also, I approach the way I approach business also is that, in reality, what I've come to learn is, to be successful in something, you don't necessarily have to be, an engineer or a technical operator to be successful in it. Somebody can come and create a great tech business, but not necessarily have a huge amount of knowledge about tech. But what they have got knowledge about is how to bring people together who are good. And the key to being successful is being able to bring a team of people that are very good at what they do together to deliver an outcome. And that's really what I try to focus on doing. And that's also the best use of my time. If I can bring experts that really understand tech, really understand tokenization, really understand, structuring, really understand how to put finance platforms together, we can deliver a great solution. And that's one thing I'll definitely say to people.
That's amazing. And do you also have the chance where like you do seminars or workshops for people to learn more about what you're doing?
Yeah.
That's not in the UK, but also in America?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Because the principles that I teach through my structured education platform are all about how to start and how to build wealth. And they're universal strategies. So you can apply anywhere in the world. The principles are still the same. And therefore I've got mentees in the US, I've got mentees in Ghana, I've got mentees in Nigeria, and in London, obviously, where my biggest audience are. So I want people to understand that, this is something that, you can apply. A lot of our practices and what we teach can be applied anywhere in the world. And
now you have a mentee in Wendy in Tech, because I'll be definitely tuned into what you're doing, your portfolio, your courses you have, because I want to be able to expand myself in other genres, right? I'm fairly, young. I would not say my age. I'm a lady. I would never say my age. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. I'm 28, but I'm just saying, like, in years to come, obviously, when I get to a certain point, I want to have more streams that I can bring in for generational wealth for myself, my future family, and different avenues and things I get into. It doesn't have to always be, like, tech related, So I'm happy that you are opening that door for me and other people like myself. Like, I'm listening, I'm watching, I'm seeing. And when I saw you, I was just like, you are someone I really just need to sit down and talk with and just pick your brain a bit. So I'm happy you came on to Wendy and Tech to have that conversation. Let me find out a little bit about you though. That how did you like being in Houston for the first time?
Loved it, loving it, loving it. You guys have got some amazing places to eat.
Ah.
No, there's been no shortage of options. So much to do as well. It's so lively. Yeah, I'm loving it. Definitely somewhere I'm thinking, yeah, I could come back.
Yes, please come back. We want you for more than a week. Do you always go to tech conferences all the time?
Yeah, so this year in particular, I've done quite a few. Just 2 weeks ago, I was in Tampa and Phoenix, and about a month ago, I was in Philly. So, I mean, this is probably my fourth conference, kind of talk at a conference in the last 2 months, 3 months.
That's really good too. I've seen a lot of people get into a lot of the speaking engagements,
Yeah.
like frequently as well. I love seeing those happen for people in our community to like spread their awareness and their knowledge to other people. So that sounds like you got a lot of work you're doing on your back end.
Yeah.
Those presentations getting created, talking in front of people, getting them acclimated into your system. That's so good to hear. I'm really proud of you.
Oh, thank you. And I'm great to see, really happy with seeing and learning about what you're doing too. You're doing some great things as well.
I appreciate
very, very impressive.
Yeah, but now I can start, calling your phone and getting some more.
Of course. Everybody should call my phone. Everyone wants to learn about property, they should just follow me at,
Yes.
the ideal one is probably just to connect with me on Instagram at Bola Ranson, BOLARANSON.
Mm-hmm.
So at Bola Ranson is a great way to connect with me. And in fact, if they mention Wendy, I'll send them a link to our portal and they'll have a special treat there as well.
Yeah, so you guys mentioned Wendy and Tech. Let's do it that way. You guys, he'll send you a special link to get you acclimated to their system and really get that conversation started to help you guys get into the wealth and engaging. And honestly, we need to make money, y'all. So if you want to make some more money, learn how to be rich in the future, just being very transparent here, you need to listen to what he's saying. He's saying the truth out there. You don't have to be super tech founder, tech engineer, cybersecurity professional. No, you have to know how to use technology in the right way. And that's the whole point of what we're here to talk about today. He's used tech in the right way to make now over 25 million pounds for what his organization is doing, but his portfolio is here to help people like ourselves. You got to get into it. So before we do close out today, I would like for you to get some pointers for people out there, right? Sometimes I have people who watch it are like career pivoters, people just may be interested in hearing about tech, or like younger people like ourselves who need to hear something that's going to push them to the next level. Do you have any advice to give them that can be that extra push they may need to hear today?
One important one I always say to people is think about taking action as soon as possible. Like anything, to be successful, you're in some ways playing a time game as well. And if it's something you're thinking about, I know lots of people that, for example, think about investing in property or real estate, and they always say they almost end up finding reasons not to. So it may well be that they're ready, but they just perhaps are waiting for market to be a bit more stable, or let me wait for the war to finish, or let me wait for this to finish. And quite often what I hear and see is people looking and pushing the starting point further and further away. So first thing I would say is try and make a start as soon as possible. Now, there's obviously different reasons why people wouldn't make a start. Sometimes they don't feel confident. Perhaps they haven't got the funds ready. There can be different reasons why you might not start, but you should certainly start to try and seek out the knowledge first. So try and make a start, and that start might just mean seeking out knowledge. And as I say, they can connect with Bola Ranson if it's a knowledge thing. The other thing is, what I would say to people is, they should look to, where possible, try and maintain a reasonably good credit rating. That will help them in the property investing, particularly if they're going to go down the traditional route, because the traditional route relies heavily on having a clean credit rating. The tokenization route, where you just buy a small part of the property, not so much so, because that's considered like a cash purchase in many ways. But for the traditional route, get your credit ready and straight. If you're not sure where you're going to go, still get your credit or try and maintain a good credit. If you're not sure how to do that or where you're at, you can feel free again to drop me a DM and I'll try and point you in the right direction. And the only other thing I would say to people is try and think big. Think big. Set a goal for yourself that's going to move and inspire you so that you can work towards something exciting.
Okay, so then one more too, I forgot about this part. So you mentioned that your family had like a different upbringing than other people, right?
Yeah.
Your parents worked about 3 to 4 jobs.
Yeah.
You guys are they're from Nigeria, and then, they just really want to make ends meet for you. And you never let that stop you from, getting to your goal. There's some people out there who would be in that type of situation and would allow themselves to just be stuck in what they're going through instead of finding something bigger to achieve. What advice do you have for people that may have experienced that type of upbringing where their parents are not able to give them things that they need in life and they just don't have the motivation within themselves to go for more?
I always say to people, look, just stay positive. Try and stay positive, because it's very easy in the world, in the life we live nowadays, to get caught up in the negativity around us, particularly if your family environment isn't straight, or is chaotic. So you really want to try and stay positive. You want to find ways to, and there's multiple ways of doing that. One will be to find time for yourself to consume the right information, in terms of books, whether it's learning and staying inspired. That's very key. The other thing is surrounding yourself with the right circles of people, friends and mentors, because that's ultimately going to make up what goes on up here. Mm-hmm. So surround yourself with the right circles. That's going to give you a great start. There's obviously some things you won't be able to deal with, but at least you'll have the tools within yourself to deal with those difficult moments. And then once you've got in a position where your frame of mind is right, your circle's right, you're in a perfect position to start.
Thank you so much. So you guys, you've heard that from Bola, the solid professional. If you have anything you want to know, please tune into this episode, this podcast, follow his content creation platform, and also just get it within him, because his story is authentic, it's real, it's true, and he's here to help people like you and myself find ways to advance your knowledge and also advance that money in your pocket. Thank you so much for coming today. I know you have to fly out today, so I'm not happy, actually pretty sad about that. I'm just happy you came on today, but thank you for coming on, give me your time.
You're welcome.
And also hope you enjoy your reservation later in Houston, because we have the best food, like you said. So
amazing food. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
You take care.
Bye.